And ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever in the world you are watching from. I am a traditional Japanese rakugo comic storyteller. My name is Katsura Sunshine. It is a great honor and a pleasure to be performing for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to be doing this in person. This was supposed to happen as a live event at the Town Hall Theater, the newly renovated, beautiful Town Hall Theater in Seattle, which is one of my favorite places ever to perform. I performed there a couple of times, and I just love Seattle. It's a great honor to be broadcasting to you from Sunshine Studios in New York this time, but I really want to go and perform for you in person next time. So I hope you enjoy this little taste of Rakugo online this time and look forward to the show live next time. Ladies and gentlemen, I would first, before I begin to perform, really like to give a huge expression of gratitude and thanks to the Town Hall Theater for hosting this event, to the Washinkai for making this all happen, and also to Mr. and Mrs. Minegishi, who really brought this idea up to me more than maybe 2 years ago. So this has been a long time in the making. It is a little bit of a compromise in that we are doing it online this time, but ladies and gentlemen, I promise you will really enjoy the performance live. So get a taste of it today. Thank you so much for having me into your, what should I say, into your devices, whether they be phones or computers or television screens. I hope that you get a little bit of a taste of Rakugo today that makes you want to see a little bit more. Just by way of explanation, Rakugo is a 400-year tradition of Japanese storytelling. The stories have been passed down from master to apprentice through the ages up until the present day. And Rakugo has a very specific structure to it. The first half of any Rakugo performance is basically a kind of a comic monologue. It's a lot like stand-up comedy. It's a chance for the storyteller and the audience to become friends, for me to get to know you, and for you to get to know me. And then the second half is the story proper, where I turn my head to the left, I'm playing one character, I turn my head to the right, I'm playing another character, and every story ends in a punchline. Now, even in Japan, when we perform in Japanese, we often do a little bit of an explanation at the top of the show, especially when large parts of our audiences haven't seen Rakugo before. And the explanation goes like this. When we perform Rakugo, we use only 2 props. In Japanese, we call this sensu. In English, we call this a fan. In Japanese, we call this tenugui. In English, we call this a hand towel. When we perform Rakugo, we wear special clothing. In Japanese, we call this a kimono. In English, we call this a kimono. When we perform Rakugo, we kneel for long periods of time in this very special way. In Japanese, we call this seiza. In English, we call this punishment. And then if you have that much of an explanation, you should be ready to go. When we begin in Japan, we start with a formal greeting to the audience. In Japanese, I would like to create a little bit of a Japanese atmosphere here with you today. I'll translate everything into English after, for those of you who don't speak Japanese, but in Japanese, the performance or the event starts like this. Minasama go raijou itaraki arigatou gozaimasu. Atsuku onrei o moshiagemasu. Watashi kou miete mo rakugo nan desu. Katsura-san shi aratame 6代 Katsura bunshi no 15番目の弟子の Katsura-san に輝くと書きまして、Katsura Sunshine でございます。どうぞよろしくご指導ご鞭撻のほどお願い申し上げます。The same greeting in English. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. So sometimes English is a little bit shorter. We have other greetings in Japanese. Another one goes, 皆様遠いところからお忙しい中お越しいただきまして恐縮でございます。In English, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express at this time my sincerest gratitude for you having taken the trouble to come and see my performance from a faraway place at a busy time in your lives. So sometimes English is longer. Now, this is not a problem in Japan. We are saying this all the time. At formal occasions, performances like this one, any kind of event, 遠いところからお忙しい中, thank you for coming from a faraway place, a busy time in your lives. You're simply thanking your guest, expressing gratitude to your guest for taking the trouble to come and see you. It's a figurative kind of expression of gratitude. No problem in Japan, but in other countries, this can be a little bit of a problem. I was performing in the beautiful Winter Garden Theatre in Toronto, Canada, my hometown, in 2013. 1,000 seats, all filled. Just one performance, but it was beautiful, all filled. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming from a faraway place at a busy time in your lives. And one little boy in the third row stood up and called out to me on the stage, "Oi, sunshine, I'm not busy. If I was busy, I would not be coming here to see you." You don't have to call out.